I love me some harems, you know. If there's a harem show this season, bam, I take a bite of it. But yeah, you've heard me say this before, but now I'm gonna say it again because boy oh boy is this anime, this manga series, this story concept, it's both mind-blowing, infuriating, good in a way, I guess. But I can't just sit down here and talk about it by myself because this thing is too much of a big hard pill for me to swallow on my own. So I have brought myself with me a guest, my SC. I guess we call him SC. And yeah, as you can see from the PowerPoint, we're gonna be talking about rental girlfriend. So yeah, onto the presentation and welcome to Puppet. Alright. Okay, SC, so you wanna say hi to the audience? If there's an audience. Alright,
I
so
If I'm relevant, then I'm here. You know that I'm relevant if I'm in this video.
thank you. Anyway, so yeah, talking about rental girlfriend, everyone seems to like it, right? Everyone seems to enjoy the story. The main protagonist, not so much. The waifus, big yes. But I want to dissect, right? I want to dissect why people loved it and why, or how rather, how this story can transcend or try to lift my expectations as to what a really good harem should be, right? Because this is like the new formula of harem tropes and shows and stuff like that. Now there's a lot of these YouTubers who've already made their opinions on this and even showed samples as to this very concept of renting somebody. You know, in Japan, you can rent a boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, mom, father, brother, whatnot. And for whatever reason, I believe it is also something that is wholesome. You know, you have this whole thing with the many problems, the many issues that you have to face, and having someone by your side is not such a big deal. You know, it's a very big relief to that. Now, rental girlfriend's concept of having this girlfriend idea, right? Having to rent a girlfriend, and you have this main protagonist who seems to be the pinnacle of trash, the definition of loser, quote unquote loser, I guess, but that's only for me, my opinion, right? You agree too, SC? Yeah. So I assume you've seen the trash taste highlight. Rental girlfriend is the best new anime, I presume. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to reiterate my understanding, right? So it is good, right? The waifus are good. It's
Yeah,
kind of,
it is good.
yeah,
I think the appeal goes towards how the main character is so relatable
yeah, exactly.
and
That's
how
why. Huh?
desperate are we to find someone hot to be with. But it just so happens that he rented one, and I don't think that's a thing here in our country. So yeah.
Yeah, but let's see. It's the thing. That's the thing about Rent a Girlfriend is because its appeal is that you have a main character who's, I don't know, an incel sort of thing, and it's scary because we as an audience we wanted to put ourselves in the main character's shoes. So having a main character who's kind of trashy, it's something that's hard to do, right? I mean, even you would relate to that, I guess.
Yes, I do relate to a lot of it.
Alright, anyway, yeah. So I wanted to talk about first talk with you about the anime first, right? Now, Rent a Girlfriend has a really big reputation for its amazing waifus and the amount of controversy and complaints, I guess, around centering around the characters, especially Kazuma, Mami, Ruka, I guess, whatnot. And you, SC, you've seen a lot, or you've read, or you've caught up rather, to a lot of the chapters. So what I wanted to discuss with you today is about how we can place this anime adaptation, right? How we can see this anime adaptation and how we can compare it towards the manga, towards the end. Do the characters still show relevance? Do they still support the story, and most importantly, is Kazuma still gonna be the same trashy person?
Kazuya.
Kazuya. Would I say Kazuma? Is it because they have the same? They have similar pronunciations to the name, and their character traits are
Kazuma's more, it's more a
cultured.
legendary.
Yeah, it's more.
Kazuya's just a simp.
Yeah, the very definition
There's a
of simp. Yeah, there's a go simp. Simp. First, talking about Kazuma's character trait, right? Characteristics. What makes him such a loser or relatable to us? Now, um, from the anime, from what I picked up from the anime, he's just this typical college student. Honestly, I sometimes forget that this is in a college setting, so some of this stuff is gonna be mature, right? So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of wang dangling moments where a lot of tissues are used, and I presume that later on in the manga, does he still keep this same character trait or not?
So, I think in the manga he progresses more
Okay.
because clearly the anime is trying to emphasize that he is a simp,
He is a
a
simp.
horny simp who's
Really?
desperate,
Really.
who's desperate to get in a girl's pants. So pretty much that's already established. I think so. I think in the manga he becomes more than just a simp because Chizuru,
Right. So
uh,
wait, so he is still a simp in the manga or in
he
the
is a
future
simp.
chapters?
It's just that he became more than just a simp.
Ah. Right. So okay, Kazuya is this. It's just this. This really loser of a character who some would say, or most of us would say, that he is probably the most realistic. Realistically speaking, he is the most relatable character towards us. Or not me, right? Not me, cause I'm no. I don't do those things.
You're not desperate to find someone.
I am
Reg?
not desperate because I have today's life. But sufficing to say, what do you think? What's your opinion actually on this new take to a main protagonist, especially in a harem rom-com, right? You would think that the author would create this character to be a Chad, a Giga Chad in that matter, but no. Instead, we are given a protagonist who is the definition of a loser, whose only redeeming qualities or whose only good qualities is that he's kind, as everyone would say, or most characters would also be similar. He's kind, he's kind. Could you say that he's hot? Could you say that
No.
he's good looking? No, he's pretty average. Like, uh,
Yeah.
did they even Oh yeah, I was wondering also. He's a college student, right? So, was there any moments where he was shown he's good at school, athletically or academically?
That one moment where his college degree was so useful was very essential to Chizuru.
Oh yeah,
And I think
what was his
that,
college
that
degree?
was
I never got to know.
I think it deals with business
Okay.
or at least economics.
Oh, not bad, not bad. So yeah, you were saying how did it help Chizuru?
Oh, because Chizuru is an aspiring actress, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Hmm.
she finds out that her mother, no, actually her grandma's dying. So she, what Chizuru wanted was that she wanted to show her grandma that she wanted to show her grandma a film that has her staring at it.
Okay.
So what happens was that Kazuya was at that point in time in the manga was already in love with Chizuru,
Uh huh.
decided to help her out, and then pretty much did that. And I think that was the key moment in terms of Kazuya's character development,
Ah, I see. I
because
see.
at that point he became more than just a simp. He became a Chad who still is a simp
Really? A Chad
because
simp.
he literally did a lot of things to help Chizuru. And at the end of it, it's just like, come on, come on, Chizuru. You've seen a lot of a lot of stuff he has done. You have to
The feelings at
somehow
least.
have feelings at least. You
Yeah.
don't have to remain cold blooded all the time,
Yeah.
cold hearted.
It is frustrating to see. But yeah, thanks for your point. I think I got to understand a bit. Now, moving on to the heroines, right? The heroines of the anime. Ruka. Ruka. My first encounter
Annoying,
with her, annoying. I thought so too, right? She's this tsundere-ish.
unfulfilled potential.
Really? Yeah, she's a tsundere. Yeah, in the manga, hopefully, right? But her backstory though is sad, right? It's sad, and I feel sympathy for her. I understand also where she's coming from, or no, I understand what she's going through. But how does her condition actually affect the romance properly? Because in the anime, we've seen this escalate into this whole pursuit of Kazuya. She's just madly obsessed with him. She's obsessed with the guy, and she goes to the trouble of ruining a lot of things and a lot of moments and scenes such as this, where she crashed into the dinner, the New Year's dinner, if I remember. And yeah, do you think her annoyance stopped from there, or did the manga even elevated it?
I say that Ruka's character is essentially an unfulfilled potential as a rival to Chizuru, because
True.
as you mentioned that she has a sad backstory with her condition,
Exactly.
but at the same time, what happened in the manga was that it was only mentioned once, and then we never really explored it again.
Oh, really?
Further into the 100 chapters. So pretty much that's really one of the main reasons why we never we manga readers never really try and see her as a potential rival to Chizuru, because we never really we tried to care for her, but gradually the mangaka decided just to emphasize how annoying she is instead of how annoying she is, because she literally became so she literally was portrayed as someone who's just horny, essentially.
Really? I mean, yeah,
Very
I got
very
that sense anime.
horny and desperate for
Mm,
Kazuya's affection.
yeah.
And to me that's not really, you're not doing good, mate, if you're trying to chase someone to fall in love with you, especially the fact that the mangaka decided that, you know what, we're not going to explore anything about you. We're just going to mention it and not mention it again. I think people will still care for you.
Wait, yeah, do you think that was like a plot device in order to make us.
I think it was a plot device
It
that
was.
never really came into fruition again.
True.
It's like there's tons of plot devices that were mentioned,
There are.
that were a thing but never came back in the next 100 chapters.
But yeah, her clinginess, right? This attitude of hers. Do you think it's actually a good thing or a bad thing? If Chizuru was out of the equation, right? Or Kazuya hadn't really decided, or he really wanted to pursue Ruka, do you think that they would make a good pair or not? Not at
They
all,
would, I think.
right?
But as the story progresses, it's clear that Kazuya doesn't have any. He cares for Ruka,
He
but
cares.
he cares for Ruka, but at the same time, he is desperate to just confess to Chizuru, because he's just in love with Chizuru at that point. So the anime portrays it as a rival thing initially, but throughout the manga, it gradually separated as just a one-sided thing. Ruka being madly in love with him, but Kazuya being madly in love with Chizuru, and Chizuru secretly still being a cold-hearted girl. I wouldn't say the B word, but there's so many things that really I could say about Ruka that pretty much
Come
could
on, let it out, let it out. Just tell me what you think. Like, really, I'm sure that this is not the only time that she ruined a potential progress in romance, right? There's got to be more.
Ruka knows that she doesn't have a chance.
It's
That's,
sad. The rejected character who never would have stand a chance in the first place. I wouldn't even call this a war. It is a massacre. Is that like
it,
it is?
it is a massacre, Midge, because literally, almost after after the anime, we after establishing that that Ruka is going to be one of the waifus that's going to battle out for Kazuya's affection, the mangaka decided, like, you know what? We're gonna make you annoying as hell. We're gonna make Chizuru someone. We're gonna highlight Chizuru all the time. We're gonna make her like the best girl in this series. That's actually incompetent
Mm-hmm.
with her own feelings. Uh, really, really, there's no debate at this
But
point.
all right, I actually have something a trick up to that, but we'll get into that later. Moving on to Sumi, right? Sumi. Now we all know, or it was really heavily a thing back then when it was airing that people were really excited when Sumi when Sumi was about to come out. Sadly, it was only that one episode, but the entire episode was just a bundle of cuteness until that one timing with the M word. We'll get into that later. But yeah, Sumi as a character, do you think that she poses any potential threat to the romance, to the progress of the story?
I wouldn't say. I mean, she can, but she respects Chizuru because Chizuru became her mentor of sorts.
Oh,
Was
really?
not mentor, but more of an inspiration.
Ah, okay, I see.
Because
Ah, yeah.
Chizuru just became that let's just say her motivation in doing the rental girlfriend job better,
Eh,
because Chizuru literally has has been established that she's one of the best rental girlfriends, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
True.
then Sumi has been put in Sumi is characterized as someone who doesn't have the confidence to be a rental girlfriend. And so Chizuru just giving her that confidence, especially the fact that she gave Sumi the opportunity to date Kazuya.
Mhm.
And by the way, Kazuya is actually a great date for Sumi because literally Sumi developed more feelings than I
You
expected
can
towards.
see it. A lot of people really simping for her as well. Like they see her as this little animal to protect. Although not much progress can be done, romantically speaking, towards her and Kazuya. I mean, yeah, I still think
Nah,
she's a. Wait, what?
nah,
What?
I seriously doubt. It's pretty much sealed at this point. I mean, in my opinion,
All right.
as far as the story goes, in the manga, uh, it's it's a lock for Kazuya wanting to be with Chizuru. It's just that Chizuru is not still willing to open up towards that potential pairing.
But
So
yeah,
yeah,
I see your point as well. But now, oh, now we're moving on to the juicy bits, where this is basically the salt and pepper of the show, right? The seasoning of the show. The hate or the appearance of this character, Mami, who apparently is what the internet calls to be a huge devil of a person, right? So the reason why I call her like this salt and pepper, right? She adds this new spice to the anime version at least, as to how I see it. From the last episode, if I remember correctly, she had a lot of confrontations with Chizuru, and her very existence is the reason why Rental Girlfriend is a thing. It was because of her that this show exists and what forced Kazuma to rent a girlfriend. But would you think that it truly is her fault, strictly speaking? Apart from her cold rejection, right? Kazuma also has a part to blame, I guess, for being so desperate. But I'll let that slide because it's every man's fantasy. What I want to know is how this devil can be a demon lord at this point in the manga. How's that working out in the manga community?
He disappeared for 100 chapters. It was the best thing ever. And all of a sudden she disappeared. Best thing ever. Let me just say this about it ain't Kazuya's fault. It's all her fault.
Okay.
Okay?
Wait. Why?
I don't know why she dumped Kazuya. It's because she wasn't ready, or Kazuya, in Kazuya's mind, she thought Mami was thinking that he wasn't enough. Well, he was enough. He proven that he can be a competent boyfriend. It just so happens that Mami,
Wanted more?
she just wants to tear down someone, if I'm being honest. Because in the manga, the anime establishes it as she's someone who dumps a lot of kuan.
Like a gold
She
digger or
doesn't
something.
easily
Yeah.
she doesn't easily stay long term in a relationship. In the manga, it's a clear thing that it's the same. But to me, it's all her fault, if I'm being honest. Kazuya's reaction to it became the catalyst of everything.
Oh, that's true. That's what I said. Like, it's really about how Kazuya, his bros and stuff like that. His entire his entire being rather, and how he handled the situation with Mami. Can we truly say it's her fault? Because you have these people with him. Kazuya growing as a person. You have a typical college student who's horny, I guess. But yeah, towards Mami, as I've said before, Mami, I want. Is she really okay? So she disappeared, right, for a few chapters, as you've said.
No,
Was that like a or I'll try to relate this, right? Could you say that Mami's disappearance then caused the Earth to regrow or to reflourish, like with her absence, right?
the mangaka and the anime that as all of these four waifus, Chizuru, Mami, Ruka, and Sumi, as competition. They will compete for Kazuya, right? But I think one of the biggest flaws
Oh yeah, okay.
In the manga that followed after chapter 50, after chapter 50, is that although that it's all right to put Chizuru on top now, because she is legit
All right.
a main character. But I think one of the flaws that I want to highlight is that the mangaka decided to put aside all of these waifus. Mami disappeared for 100 chapters. Ruka didn't became annoying as hell. Became someone that had so much potential as a character, but just literally ruined because the mangaka decided, you know what, Chizuru is best girl. And then Sumi is just there. Sumi is just there in on the sideline, literally having feelings for Kazuya, but at the same time, she knows that Kazuya has a thing for Chizuru and Chizuru, so she literally is trying to help Kazuya. I think, yeah, pretty much that's all. That's what I can say. Biggest turn off
Yeah.
if you're an if you watch the anime thinking that there's uh going to be this
Turning point, like
waifu
when
back.
she. Oh yeah, yeah. It's gonna be
uh, Pretty much it's non-existent in the current arc in the manga. Yeah.
So Chizuru is already spot on guaranteed win. Alright,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Well,
Fair enough.
if the mangaka decides to stop putting all of these unnecessary dramas and decides
Straight to the
to
point.
make that just make that big leap, because every time in the manga, each arc, the main characters make a huge leap. Then all of a sudden he puts this narrative, this plot line that puts them 100 step backwards again, and then you just can't be bothered with that, because at some point, when is this going to end? It's overall
it's a, it's a
because
loop. It's a vicious cycle.
although you can prolong a series,
Yeah.
you got although you can prolong a series, but at the same time you have to put it in this way that you're literally trying to finally progress the relationship between the MCs
True. But
multiple times, and then multiple times you told that.
yeah, but you would also see fillers, right, in the manga. I'm sure there's gonna be like a couple of beach episodes, or there was one in the anime, hot spring episodes, times where they
Oh yeah.
went together,
Oh
right?
yeah.
But would you think
Yeah.
that if we were to disregard those fillers for now, and let's just say that we wanted to have Chizuru and Kazuya end up together, right? It would have been a better, no, it should be a better manga series to have this arc where Chizuru and Kazuya are already dating and they face struggles together as a couple. That some of that Romeo and Juliet spice that that we all want.
Yeah,
or
I
looking
think
for, no?
I think it's so much better if they've already put it that way in terms of just the narrative in the manga.
Yeah, true.
Because after Kazuya helped Chizuru with with making the film for her grandma to see,
Yeah.
because her grandma, if you may not know, is a former actress, and that's what inspired Chizuru to become an actress herself. It's literally Chizuru's dream to be in a film, but she never really had the opportunity to do that. So okay, that plot line spoke so much that this is the moment that they should get together.
With Chizuru being an actress and all that, don't you think that the series might have been correct in a way to at least prolong their relationship?
I
But
okay, I get Chizuru's reasoning that she has to play the
priorities,
role
yes,
of this
priorities.
priorities, and spoiler alert, her grandma died, so that lessened the chance of Kazuya uh Kazuya confessing to her, because it's a
You
mourning
can't,
moment
you can't do that at that
for
moment.
Chizuru. No, we can't confess at that moment. But all I'm gonna say is that what Kazuya has done a lot of things to help Chizuru in her life.
Exactly, but okay,
And then
we'll get into Chizuru's mindset later on, right? Because it's really whack, I have to say. Let's move on to the best rant or the best conflict, my best problem. If if Mami was the salt and pepper, Chizuru has to be the fire, or the overall dish itself, rather. What did I say, fire? She is the overall dish as to why this this series, I find it to be so tasty. The aroma, the juiciness, it all centers around her and her inability to express herself. And in the manga, do you think that's what happened?
she's still she's still unable to express her, if I'm being honest. I think that's another thing that I could generally say a key flaw in the story progression. I question the mangaka, at what point do you really want to push Chizuru's character being unconfident towards her own feelings?
Exactly.
Like she's showing signs that she actually cares for Kazuya.
Yeah.
She's showing signs that she is jealous of Ruka.
Oh really? Oh yeah.
And
the anime.
yeah, in a manga as well.
That's right.
all I'm gonna say is that her character it's a bit
It's
you know
frustrating,
no,
stressful.
it's not it's frustrating in terms of just the story just trying to the uh
The
stretch out
narrative,
her progress in terms of just
romance and stuff.
her accepting that, you know
Oh.
what, yeah, I have feelings.
But
Like,
yeah,
I
but
just don't get why they're still doing that. Oh, she plays this role because she's a rental. She's also an actress. So yeah, she just played a role, and she's still being dishonest with herself. So it's a bit annoying. It's it's a long time coming. There's so much things that have happened in the manga, and then you just feel like, what are you doing, Chizuru? What are you doing, mate? It's too much. It's too much. Too much.
yeah, but
Kazuya's been paying your college tuition, been paying
he is
your
kinda,
rent
he
from your
is, he is.
your own apartment, made you a
Oh my
film,
god.
and you're still trying to hide. But by the way, she has a lot of dumb lines when it comes to
Really?
trying to
Would you name some?
evade
Would you?
evade uh one of the dumbest lines I've heard. I don't not like him either. Double negatives, mate.
Negative.
How can you
Double
can just straight up
negative.
you can just straight up say it as I like him. You don't have to freaking double negative everything, man. Oh my god.
But
Chizuru,
oh,
you're the best girl out of the series where you
yeah,
make everyone
yeah, but
frustrated,
that's
okay?
what I want to ask. If she's the best girl, even Gigak, he even claims that she's the best girl. Why? Why do people like her? Why does this character, who seems stressful to us in terms of seeing her act this way towards not pursuing a romance with Kazuya, why does she appeal to us as a best girl? We see
Well,
her
she's
as
hot.
this.
For one, she's hot.
Yeah,
We can't deny that.
okay, sure, but I personality wise, right? Okay, she is a rental girlfriend, right? And as the number one, of course, that clearly has something to say about it, right? Her personality and her. Oh my gosh, it's just weird to see how this character, who seems to be the type who switches personalities so easily, right? From being this grumpy person to who she really is, and transformed into this perfect girlfriend material. Why do we
Yeah.
like her? Why do we like her? Um,
I
I'm so
think that's
confused.
in my opinion, in terms of what's just alluring to her, if I'm being honest, is just to I think her personality is
No, it's not. Her personality is confusing. It's not tedious. That's not tedious. It's
I know that she has that she switches personality,
yeah,
but
but
in terms of me as a guy, seeing the way she acts as a girlfriend
it's
is
wrong.
appealing as I know it's wrong in terms of just how to interpret it, but at the same time, I just see it as a, you know what? I don't care if you're acting right now. You're good as a girlfriend.
Yeah, but that's her acting skills. Don't you feel
But
betrayed?
I think that flaw of her be having to switch personality, having this. Are you faking it? Are you being real right now? I think that's one of the things that stand out
That's
to me
true. I'll give you
uh
that. I'll
as
give
a
you that.
good thing to her, because it's such a great narrative, especially with her especially with her character,
Hmm.
because it because essentially it wants it wants this character to have this epiphany or realization that
True.
she needs to see herself as someone who needs to be honest. She needs to be honest with herself, with herself, and she can't just she can't just do this switching from rental girlfriend and Chizuru all the time.
Yeah, but yeah, here's the loophole that I found in this. Right now, we've mentioned Ruka before, how she could potentially be a really good girlfriend, girlfriend wise towards Kazuya, if only he has the balls to actually forget about Chizuru. Hypothetically speaking, right? If he forgets about her and moves on to Ruka, right? Then this whole thing would have been solved. But then you have this clear winner, a presumed guaranteed winner, right? Who, even though it's guaranteed, it's still a hard thing to reach. It's still a hard thing to grasp, because we cannot truly say that, or we cannot truly confirm rather, if she is really in love with him or not. What the heck is that double negative for then? That just seems like a device to.
That's her playing herself,
It
man.
is, yeah. It's just playing herself. She's contradicting her mind, and it's frustrating. It's Kazuya's already on first. He locked onto her at that moment, but she is still that gate that's still waiting to be opened, and it's a gate that's gonna be standing for a long time. In the manga, I presume he hasn't confessed yet properly.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think, to me, let's just give it that their circumstances, they just can't separate each other, no, because they know each other through the rental service,
yeah,
and
true.
that's first, and then second, they live next to each other.
Exactly. That's like all
Third
the
is that
tropes, and that's all the tropes. The
third
environment
is that
perfect for romance,
and
but
third is that both of their grandmas, essentially.
yeah, that's one.
Their grandmas are such a huge plot. I can't believe. But, so yeah,
Alright, so we're coming to the end. This is really what I really wanted to talk to you about, since you've already become a manga reader who has surpassed me, even in terms of taste. I really don't understand why you would like Chizuru. Honestly, for me, yeah, I appreciate her voice actress, her character design, her
here's the simple answer.
personality. Okay.
There's no one else. There's no one else. If it's Sumi doesn't have any confidence that could. I'm sorry. She has the confidence gradually, but she 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 knows that Kazuya doesn't have feelings for her, and that Chizuru you know, is a dear friend of hers.
Yeah, but okay, so yeah, it's established that she's a guaranteed win, but it's because of that entire thing. Like, if we take out the rest of the characters, if we take out Sumi, Ruka, Mami, right? If we take out these three and just only have a story wherein the title would basically be guy chases over girl, who girl has uncertain feelings towards him. It's a really stressful watch, for even for me, who wants that sweet juice of a romance. But then you have Chizuru, who I don't know what to say about her.
Chizuru is still best girl, but at the same time, she is such a flawed best girl.
True.
I
Okay, there. I
can't,
can accept that. I can accept
I
that.
can't comprehend how flawed she is, but all of the things she does in the manga, all of the things she has done in the anime, the way she is, the way she is shown in every panel, like, come on,
In every
you can't
screen.
you just marvel at the fact that, oh my god, this sim is dating someone this hot, and then you literally can't be bothered with other girls because the manga doesn't. If I'm being honest, doesn't is iffy with them, especially with Ruka. If although I agree that if Chizuru didn't exist and then Ruka was with
Yeah.
if
Right.
Ruka, I think Kazuya would still, to an extent, be unaccepting
Oh really?
when it comes to being with Ruka.
Oh my
To an
gosh. So now he's like the Chizuru to Ruka, who's Ruka is like the
In a way,
Kazuya.
yeah, yeah. It's a straight line.
It is a straight line. Oh my gosh, that is
The thing
sad.
about
That is sad or genius. I don't know. Like to the whole.
I don't fault the character. It's just the way the narrative was put throughout the throughout the series.
Yeah. So
Ruka,
right.
stop being annoying.
Okay.
You're too
Annoying.
horny.
Uh huh.
Ruka, you're too annoying. You
Annoying.
know that Kazuya doesn't care for you.
Okay.
You can't do anything now because if
Okay.
only there was a timeline where Kazuya contacted you instead of Chizuru, then that would have been a better suit for you. But
Okay.
Chizuru is a thing, you can't do anything about it.
So she's
Oh,
basically like a pest. I'm so sorry, Ruka. Love
Yeah.
this. I love Ruka, by the way. She has my vote. But Chizuru, damn, I really don't like this tsundere take on her, right? You could, wait, would you consider her as a tsundere? Would you consider Chizuru as a tsundere type? You know?
Yeah, I would.
But for me, this is a whole new level of tsundere. It's like tsundere while having a bomb attached to your body. It's like you're not so sure of yourself. It's like you're waiting to pull that trigger to really detonate your feelings into something that you're not even sure of yet, right? Because you have a character who seems perfect, who it should be perfect, theoretically speaking. But then we have the background factors, right? Even the individual factors that contribute to making Chizuru this girl as to what she is portrayed in the anime. And Mami tried to exploit that, I guess, in a way when she confronted her, saying
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like, what if you are a rental girlfriend, just stop messing with Kazuya's heart, And she could back away from him. Her agency has the power to step Kazuya off. Right, restraining order. There we go. She can have a restraining order against Kazuya, but like I said, you can't really. You're not so sure of yourself. You raise that double negative. You leave Kazuya hanging, and Kazuya being the being this gold mine for you. Like it's like a private.
Oh, you're really going in with Chizuru, huh?
Yeah, cause I
Then,
feel like this is not the
then,
way. This is not the
then
way a best girl
the
should be,
the
or no, it should be.
the
Should be.
mangaka loves Chizuru. Okay.
Okay, I love her too. Right? No hate against her. Am I gonna get
Mm.
cancelled for this? I hope not. I don't hate Chizuru. I just don't like the way she
Yeah,
is
the way she is.
acting
Yeah, I get you.
towards Kaze. Yeah. So that's really my take on this whole thing. It's a romantic comedy because the entire thing is just comedic to see. It's
Yeah.
it's sad comedic to see this.
Eh, it's
Really?
it's a
To me at least. You know.
it's more of cringe.
Okay, yeah, it's cringe.
Cringe, really relatable cringe.
Relatable
That's
cringe. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with you more. And yeah, overall, the overall winner of the series, who has benefited more? What would you say is who would you say is the character that most benefited from all this?
I think both MCs, Chizuru and Kazuya, because they learned a lot from themselves from each other about the series.
But you know who are the people that I'm most concerned about in the entire story arc? It's definitely
What?
the parents of Kazuya. He basically had their money milked from them, and did they knew about Chizuru? Did they find out
Oh
about
my god, I
Chizuru?
did not actually think of that.
Right?
Oh no.
The money of the parents were just milked out of them. They're given to Kazuya, thinking that he was gonna use them for some useful purposes, for at least like college books, materials at least to help him study guides. but then uses it against funding a tuition for a
Okay, okay.
girl.
First off, it's Kazuya's fault. It's Kazuya's fault. Chizuru is just Chizuru
She's
is
just
just
doing her job.
someone who was caught in
The
the
crossfire.
fire. Crossfire. It was Kazuya's fault. Kazuya, you should have been focusing with college, not being desperate or being horny to find someone. Okay, I don't fault Chizuru here. I fault Kazuya. But I think that's one plot that the mangaka will try and exploit in order to drag this series.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh no.
there's this one device that I've found in a lot of animes or a lot of harems is that we see this character, right? A character who seems as a total loser, who has that one ability or one talent or skill that he is good at. For instance, rather, you have a character who seems depressed, but is actually really good at singing, music, cooking, usually smart and all that. But what Kazuya has going for him is just this outrageous model or imagery of a simp, as to what some people would say, a simp
Yeah.
who really has. I really feel sorry for him and his money and his parents.
Kazuya, if you're a weeb, someone or someone that's this has the same range as Kazuya's personality or um just social status, I guess,
True,
you're
true.
you're going to be more awkward and become a simp
Mm.
if you ever hook up with someone as hot as Chizuru.
True, but
I think more it's more it's the thing that I could just saying oh yeah, if I was in that situation I would be like, please don't leave me. I need you to show off to my other friends and
yeah, that's the
family.
thing. It's his attitude that that forced him, or his pride rather, that got him into this mess. It's really crazy.
But you know what? I think that what's really great about Kazuya's character is that he had nothing going for him.
Mm,
In the anime, that's obviously shown that he had nothing
yeah,
going for him
it
except
is.
that he's just horny.
Desperate boy.
But yeah, but because of Chizuru, he changed himself. Okay, he changed himself, or rather, he elevated himself to more than just a simp.
Giga
Became
Sim.
a Chad simp.
Okay, Chad Sim.
No, yeah,
Alright.
he became a Chad simp. Yeah. That's one thing I could say that's really great and addicting to series is the
True,
dynamic that Chizuru.
And what's
Uh,
also funny about
yeah.
Kazuya just getting into trouble with all things, having to witness his struggles. It's a hard laugh, or it's hard to laugh at, because some would see themselves in him, and some would also sympathize with the guy. I sure do, not in the way that I want romance. No, I'm cool with that. But in the way that he just wanted recognition, he just wanted the life that he had planned. But with even the parents, the parents were not expecting, were lost of hope, were at lost for hope of him.
Grandma especially.
Oh, yeah, the grandma. But then he had this opportunity to present himself to become better, and he took it. So, is that a bad thing? No. Is the way that you did it weird? It's yeah, cringy weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, in terms of the anime, right? Just strictly speaking towards the anime, what would you rate it out of 10?
The anime is a solid 7 in my opinion.
Uh huh. Like, wait, in
Solid
terms of the delivery, at least the delivery of the chapters, was it good enough to grasp the idea of rental girlfriend, or still lacking a bit? Because I find it to be
Uh,
a pretty good 8, I guess. Story wise,
it's-
yeah, you know. But the manga, right? The manga, as of now, as of today, or in the updating, right? What did you rate the manga in terms of the progress of the romance, or generally
so
speaking, out of
I'm
10?
gonna mention this that manga, in my opinion, peaked at 9 in my in as I read it. There was
Okay.
such it had a strong potential to be a 9,
It does. It
and
does.
then at its lowest it became 4, because of how just come on, you just face palm every time, because the author just decided, yeah, no, we don't progress here. We will drag this to the point where things that are irrelevant will become relevant again, and then it's going to drag. Okay, it's useless. At the same time, at the same time it's content. That's my opinion.
Well, I guess we have no other claims to it other than the fact that yeah, Chizuru, you better step up your game. Um, if do I want more stories similar to this concept? Yes, but similar to this character trait of Chizuru? No, no. I don't. One Chizuru is enough. Well, there's a lot of
What's
formulas you can.
serious?
There's only one. There's
Her
only.
characters is actually good in my opinion. It's just the way it's implemented in the
Yeah, right. Let's compare this to like for instance Senju Gahara from the Monogatari series. She is a yandere, straight, going for Araragi, the main protagonist. She loves him so much that she really keeps him on a leash, and yeah, you
Yep.
can see why she's really top tier waifu material. But Chizuru, top tier material waifu for other reasons, for real reasons. But yeah, for me, it won't really cut the thread. You know. But I think she's still good.
Understandable.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically rent a girlfriend debunk our rant, quote unquote rant a girlfriend. So yeah, so if you agree
That's okay.
with our conversations of our points, smash that like button. If you don't agree, also smash that like button. It will mean the world to me. Hit that subscribe, the bell notification. And yeah, props to my Issy for coming and share his experience with me. It's pretty cool of you, man.
Hey,
Right.
yeah, thanks. All I'm gonna say is that read Rent a Girlfriend if you're lonely and if you're desperate, and then you realize that it's it's going to be addicting. At the same time,
A hard watch.
it's going to be your depression weekly. So yeah.
Should you watch or should you read Rent a Girlfriend? It's up to you. Right, bye bye.